Donald Trump just got mercilessly booed at the US Open in New York, which he's attending right now. I think Trump was expecting to go to this event and get thunderous applause. You know, he kind of lives in a bubble in the White House and for some reason thinks that everybody loves him, but maybe this is a little bit of a wake-up moment for Donald Trump because the boos were really, really loud in this venue. Of course, there were some MAGA Republicans in attendance who were clapping for Donald Trump. You'll hear just a little bit of that in the clips, but for the most part, people were booing him. You can hear it throughout the entire stadium. And what's actually interesting about this story and Trump getting booed is that these clips I'm about to show you, these videos, are the only ones you'll see of Trump getting booed because the U.S. Tennis Association asked broadcasters to block out any boos or negative reactions to Donald Trump on their live feeds. Yes, seriously, the USTA came to Donald Trump's aid. This is according to the New York Times and a bunch of other outlets. The U.S. Tennis Association asked broadcasters of the U.S. Open to censor any protests or reaction to Donald Trump's appearance at the men's singles final today, according to a memo reviewed by The Athletic, the sports column of the New York Times on Saturday. The memo was first reported by the tennis reporter Ben Rothenberg of Bounces. According to the memo, Trump will be shown on feeds from the tournament during the pre-match ceremony, which includes the presentation of the U.S. national anthem ahead of the final between the two men. Quote, "We ask that all broadcasters to refrain from showcasing any disruptions or reactions in response to the president's attendance in any capacity," the USTA said in the memo, and the memo said Trump planned to watch the match from a suite as a guest of a sponsor, prompting additional security for the event. Quote, "We regularly ask our broadcasters to refrain from showcasing off-court disruptions." ESPN declined an official comment, and a person briefed on the network's plans, speaking on the condition of anonymity because they were not allowed to do so, said it planned to show Trump and acknowledge his presence as it usually would during sporting events and to cover play on the court as normal. This is Donald Trump, who claims to be the free speech warrior. You know, if you're a person in the United States, he wants to protect your First Amendment right, according to him, even if it's against him. Of course, that's not true. And now the USTA has completely capitulated to Donald Trump because if they show him getting booed, which is what happened at the US Open, he will come after them. He will target them. You know, he'll do his usual thing. Now, without further ado, I do want to show you these clips because, again, you know, they're being censored right now, especially on the broadcast, but I'm here to bring them to you. We'll watch a couple and we'll talk about it after. This is a video from kind of on the floor during the national anthem from journalist Ben Rothenberg, who was just cited in that report from the New York Times. But just take a look at this clip and you can hear the boos are very, very loud. Ooh. Yeah, let's watch that again. Yeah, the moment that he comes on the Jumbotron is really when you hear him. Take a look. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, that's brutal. I mean, undeniable. You know, when Donald Trump gets booed at public events, MAGA always tries to say, no, 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 they're clapping, they're applauding. I think that's pretty unequivocal in what happened. And of course, as I mentioned, you hear some claps. There were some people in the crowd. I think you can actually maybe see them at the end here. Yeah, some people in their crowd, you can just look at the bottom. There are people clapping. Of course, there are going to be MAGA Republicans in the crowd. The US Open is, you know, mainly a very wealthy event, and a lot of these wealthy people donated to Donald Trump's campaign. So, of course, they're going to be there. They're going to applaud the guy they helped elect. But for the most part, people were booing him. This is what happens when Donald Trump comes to New York. Here's another reaction from journalist Olivia Rubin, who's from ABC, during the national anthem. This is kind of from a higher view. And again, the boos are just overwhelming. Take a look at this one as well. Again, you can hear like a much more holistic view of the boos. On the ground, it was really loud. This one shows you that the entire stadium was booing Donald Trump when he came on the Jumbotron. Let's just take one more look. Oh. See? And you can see him right there. And look at him. You can see him right there. And I think I have a photo to show you later of the Trump family that's there. You can see some of the folks that he brought with him to this event. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty undeniable. When he got shown on the Jumbotron, there were boos. You know, nobody was happy. And then as immediately when he was removed from the Jumbotron and they went on to show the crowd again, people started applauding, or at least they were quiet. Here's another angle from a viewer, an onlooker. It's only a 5-second clip, so it's quick, but just take a look. Yep. And this happened when Donald Trump was, as you can see on the top right there, he was on the Jumbotron in this clip. This happened, and you can hear it. I mean, you know, I feel like I have to show 5 different clips of this because MAGA will somehow try to deny it. But here's one more angle of Trump getting booed. This is kind of when he walked into the stadium. This was not during a part of the ceremony or the national anthems. Just take a look here. Yeah, you can hear the boos there. This was before the majority of the people got into the stadium. So even the few people that were there in the stadium were booing him. And look at this dumb guy at the bottom with his MAGA hat trying to take a photo with Donald Trump. Trump couldn't care less about this guy. I mean, he just couldn't care less about him. And you can see in this photo, I believe that to be Pam Bondi who's with him. I believe that's Caroline Leavitt. I believe that's Melania Trump, Jared Kushner, Susie Wiles. I think that's Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. So a couple people with him, familiar faces you might know. Here's the photo I wanted to show you of the people with Donald Trump. And that's, you can see Melania, you can see him looking like an idiot as always, as Donald Trump does. But yeah, pretty overwhelming boos for Donald Trump at this event. And I keep reiterating that MAGA will try to find some way to say, oh, it wasn't boos, it was secretly cheers, and everybody was just, you know, the MAGA fans were being quiet. They'll come up with some absurd excuse to defend Donald Trump. But when you're hearing clips like this, I mean, just when you're hearing this, yeah, I mean, you know, get real. There's no saying that Donald Trump got a favorable reception at this event. It reminds me of the Club World Cup he went to in New Jersey recently over the summer, where he got booed ruthlessly by the entire stadium as well. So anyway, just had to show you these clips, especially because the booing will be censored on all the major news outlets. That's why we're here, independent media. So make sure to subscribe down below to support the channel. So I'll continue to show you the clips that a lot of these networks won't. Drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about this story. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.